So welcome to our fourth and final chair yoga class in our introductory session. So let's start off by finding your nice neutral seat. And as a reminder, you're sitting towards the edge of your seat. Feet are planted beneath your knees. Knees are about hip distance apart. That would be about the distance of your two fists. So you want to make sure that is there. And then inhale, length through your spine, relax your shoulders back and down, and tune into your breath. In today's practice, we're going to do a nice warm up for the full body. Then we're going to get up and out of the chair, doing sun salutations and using our chair more as a prop. And then we will flow into some more strength building, and we will end again on the chair. So before we begin, go ahead and softly close your eyes, taking a nice big deep inhale, filling the whole torso, front, back, and sides, expanding, and then exhaling, letting go of any lingering tension. Let go of whatever came before our time together, whatever is going to be after our time together, and just become present in the moment. And if during class, if thoughts start to invade your mind, that is okay. Just recognize them, acknowledge your thoughts, and then let them go. So just take a moment to acknowledge them and then exhale, breathe them out. And we'll go ahead and begin our pranayama practice or our breath practice. We're going to introduce a new technique today, building on what we did last time. So let's practice our ujjayi breath that we learned last time. So big inhale, dragging the breath along the back of your throat, and then exhale, again, dragging it along the back of your throat. Our Darth Vader breath, our ocean breath. Then again, the advantage of that is it slows things down. It helps us to regulate our sympathetic and our parasympathetic system. So our sympathetic system, think of the inhale, we're taking in, we're energizing. Parasympathetic is the exhale, we're relaxing, we're releasing. So if at any time you're faced with anything stressful, this is a lovely breath. And in addition to that, if you're really feeling stressed out, have a longer exhale. That inhale taps into your parasympathetic system. We're going to learn breath of fire right now, which is your sympathetic system, because there's sometimes we just need to get up and go. We need to motivate and we don't feel like it. And with breath of fire, I'm going to turn sideways so you can kind of see. I'm going to put my hand on my belly. I'm going to start off doing it through my mouth, and feel free to practice with me. So sit up nice and tall, and on the exhale, you're going to push the breath out of your mouth. And as you do that, your belly comes in. So do that a few times. And you can even put your hand in front of your mouth to feel it. Now, when you relax your belly, you automatically inhale. So the inhale is what we call passive. And if you want, you can keep your hand on your belly for emphasis. But we're going to practice our breath of fire first through our mouth and then maybe through our nose. Your own rate and pace. So let's go ahead and begin. Big inhale to start, and then exhale. And if that's feeling comfortable now, through your nose. Ten more seconds. Doing either your mouth or your nose, whatever feels the most comfortable for you. Bringing that navel in, snapping it back. Also a great ab exercise, and go ahead and relax, release. Let your hands fall to your lap. We're going to do something called a camel ride, which is a little kind of a subtle version of the cat-cow we've been practicing. So I want you to get comfortable and feel your sit bones down in the chair, hands on your knees, and then I'm just going to have you rock forward so you feel your pubis more on the chair and the sit bones kind of come up. And then rock back, and you're kind of rocking on your sit bones. So it's almost like you're tucking your tailbone under. We're just going to go forward and back. So sitting up nice and tall, imagine you're in Egypt. You're riding a camel. Just going back and forth. Your body is automatically adjusting to the motion of the camel. And go ahead and find center again. And now we're going to move into our Sufi circle. So we're going to inhale forward like the start of our camel. And then we're going to transfer, go to the side, transferring the weight to the right sits bone, back, hollowing out that camel ride, and then to the left. So there's smaller circles than we've done before. They're more refined, controlling things. And I really want you to tap into your body, notice the sensations you're feeling. If you do this nice and slow, you'll feel some nice stretching going on in the lower back and the hips. The next time you come forward, let's slow down and reverse directions. And use your breath to help move you through. Not breath of fire. You'd be doing really fast circles if you were doing that. Nice and slow. And we're going to come back to a neutral spot. And just relax for a moment. We're going to move it into our shoulders. So inhale your left shoulder up. Exhale it down. Inhale right shoulder up. Exhale it down. And go ahead, continue to alternate between your shoulders. And if they're feeling nice and warmed up, you can pick up the pace. And as you lower one, you raise the other. And like pistons. And then relax your shoulders down. We're going to pick up both shoulders up to our ears like earrings, and then relax them down. Inhale them up like you're breathing them up, and then exhale, release, relax. Eyes can be closed or just taking a nice hazy gaze. We've got about 5 more seconds. And relax your shoulders down. Go ahead and raise your right hand as if you're telling, stop. I'm going to have you grab onto the tops of your fingers with the other hand and press through your palm. So we're getting a nice flexion of the wrist here. Just breathe into it. And we're going to switch with the other hand. So now your left arm forward, stop, and just gently tug, pull back on your fingers, your palm. Press through the base of your palm. Relax your shoulders. We're going to come back to our right hand, but this time our fingers are going to come down towards the floor and clasp the outside of the hand, and just a gentle tug, nice and soft. Breathe into it. Feeling a nice, hopeful stretch and release all along the top of the arm to balance the bottom stretch we just did. Let's go ahead and switch hands. So left hand, fingers pointing down, pulling back. So your shoulders should feel really nice and secure in your arm socket, supporting each other. And go ahead and gently relax, maybe shake the hands out. We're going to practice standing up. And standing up is harder than you think it is. What I want you to do as you're checking in, I'm going to just have you scooch your feet back a little bit so that your knees are more in line with your toes. So we're just scooting back. I'm going to move to the side so you can see kind of from a side view. So my knees are more in line with my toes. If I were to pick, I'm going to root down through my sit bones, lift up through the spine, gentle tuck in my chin, strengthen through my abdominal muscles. Hands are going to come to my knees. I'm going to lean forward and then transfer the weight to stand up. So go ahead and do that nice and slowly. Okay, and then I'm going to move my chair around, and you are going to want your chair sideways too. Just having it nice and sideways. We're going to do sun salutation. So we're going to stand comfortable distance behind the chair, so our hands resting on the top of the chair. And at any time you want, the chair is there for you to grab. Otherwise, we're in mountain pose. Weight is equally distributed on both feet. Our tailbone and pubis are pointing towards the ground. Shoulders relax back and down. And our gaze would be forward. Taking a big breath. And slowly, if it feels good, bring your hands to heart center on Jali Mudra. And then with your next inhale, we're going to lift our arms overhead as far as feels good. And then we're going to allow the hands to float down to the top of the chair, and we're just going to lean over the chair. So this is a forward fold. We've done a forward fold before in the chair. And I'm going to have you step, come back, straighten through your spine, step just a little bit, your left foot back, bending into your right knee. Hands are still there for support, and just kind of pinch down, lower down, press through the back heel, getting a nice little stretch. And now I'm going to have you bend both knees a little bit, step your right foot back, so you're further from the chair now, and then legs are nicely engaged, maybe a micro bend in the knees, just hinge forward, forward fold. So this is a full forward fold right here. And with your next inhale, you're going to come back to stand, keeping your hands on the chair, and we're going to step the left foot forward by the chair, bend into the left knee, really pressing down through your right heel. And then transfer your weight to the front foot, step the right foot forward, and then we're just going to hinge over the chair, maybe a nice micro bend in the knees, forward fold again. And then inhale all the way up to standing, and reaching your hands up and overhead, and then bringing them back down to heart center. So that is a sun salutation using the chair as a prop. And now what we're going to do is we're going to warm up the whole body. And so to do that, you can do this in your chair too. But I'm going to use my hand on the chair. I'm going to transfer the weight to my right foot. I'm going to pick up my left foot, and I'm just going to rotate my foot both directions. We're just rotating it. So we're working on balance, stability. Our core is engaged. Our foot is moving, our ankles. And I'll go ahead and bring your right foot back. Put your left foot out. Do the same thing. And if at any time this feels like too much, you can always do this in the chair too. But balance is really important in our lives, obviously. Not only balance in what we're doing, but balance in our physical body. It helps us with our walking, our cadence, our mobility. Go ahead and bring your foot back. And now we're going to just go ahead and roll our neck around. So half circles, bringing one ear down to the shoulder, transferring it through the center, and then the other side, and then reversing it. So half moons. We've done this before seated. And if you want, you can do a full moon all the way around, but listening to your body at all times. We don't ever want any searing pain. And for neck circles, yes, crackling and crunching are all natural, normal. And if you did one direction, reverse it to the other direction, and then come back to center with a nice neutral chin. We're just going to roll the shoulders up and down and forward. So back and down and forward. And then we'll reverse directions, up and back and down. Let's do a few in each direction. And then come back to neutral. Again, a micro bend in your knees. We're going to clasp our hands. We're going to do some figure eights. So figure eight. And now slow it down, and we're going to reverse direction. So this is your mind and your emotion, and it can feel incredibly awkward until it starts to not feel awkward. And then you can work at picking up your pace a little bit. Nicely done. And go ahead and shake it out. And now we're going to rotate our torsos. So kind of like a hula. So we're rotating the whole torso, the hips in one direction, and then we'll reverse it the other direction. And then come back to nice and neutral. Step your feet back together. We're bending at the knees, and then we're just going to make circles with our knees in one direction, going at your own rate and pace. and then go ahead and reverse direction. Okay, and then slowly stand up, and we're going to do full body, just kind of a full body shimmy. Yes, it looks silly, maybe like kind of like a scarecrow or a skeleton might move. You know, just shake it up a little bit, maybe even shake out a leg. Okay, and we're going to come back to our sun salutations now that we're a little warm, and we're going to see the difference between the two. So we stand, hands resting on the chair. Maybe a micro bend in the knees. Our shoulders are stacked over our hips. Hips are stacked over our feet. Relax your shoulders. Back and down, hands to heart center. The next breath, inhale them up. Next breath, release your hands to the chair back. Hinge from your hips, forward fold. Step your left leg back just a little bit. Lift up through your torso, pressing through your left foot. Lunge. Step your right foot back to meet your left foot. Hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, coming up. Stepping your left leg forward. Lunge. Step your right leg forward. Hinging forward fold. Nice bend in the knees. Tush can go far out behind you. Inhale up, use your core strength to help bring you up. And arms come up overhead. Palms together, down through heart center. Do that one more time. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, they float down to the chair. Forward fold. Knees can be as bent as feels good. Step the right leg back a little bit. Lift up through your torso, press through your right heel. Lower down, step your left foot back, forward fold. Inhaling up, step your right foot forward. Bend into your knee, press through your left foot. Lunge. Left foot meets right foot. Hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, press into your feet, lift all the way up. Mountain pose, arms circle sweep up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Very nice. Release your hands to the chair. Turn sideways, transfer your weight to your right foot. Hand is on the chair. Kickstand your left foot. So toes are on the floor. Heel is on your ankle. Relax through your shoulders, press through your foot, lift up. And we can stay here in tree, or if you want, you can bring the sole of your foot to your calf. And then it could advance to bring the sole of the foot to your inner thigh. But find what feels good. This is a balance pose. I want you to look for a drishti, a point that is not moving in front of you. Focus in on that. If you'd like, you can raise your opposite arm up. Breathe in length. And then exhale, float your hand down. Foot comes down to the mat. Maybe shake it out a little bit. We're going to move on to the other side. So I'm always standing with my rooted, grounded leg as closest to the chair. So I'm not reaching over. So we first start off by finding our mountain pose, stacking feet under knees, under hips, under shoulders, relaxing the shoulders back and down. Maybe a micro bend in your knee. Transfer your weight to your left foot. Kickstand your right foot. Just like we did before. Find your stability. Find your drishti, your gaze. Feel tall and regal. And if it feels good, if your balance is there this morning, you can bring the sole of your foot to your calf or to your inner thigh. Your call. And then you can float the arm up if that's feeling good. Make sure the weight is equally distributed on that standing leg. And slowly exhale, hand and your leg down. And maybe shake it out a little bit. I'm going to move back to the other side of my chair. It is a strengthening pose. We're going to hinge forward, placing our hands on the chair so we feel nice and stable. Feet are just a good distance behind the chair so that you feel like you're in 90 degree. Micro bend in both knees. I'm going to have you lift your right knee in towards your chest. And then on the exhale, I'm going to have you straighten your leg behind you. Toes towards the ground, heel up towards the ceiling. And your foot can be really close to the floor. Don't worry about how high it gets. So exhale, knee in towards the chest. Inhale, press your leg out. Knee towards the chest. Exhale, press the foot out. And then allow your foot to come all the way down. Maybe shake out your feet a little bit, your legs. We're going to move on to the other side. So transfer the weight now. For me, that's the right leg. Left knee is going to lift up in towards the chest. And then exhale, press your foot behind you. Exhale, knee towards chest. Kind of round through the back a little bit. Inhale, press it back. We're going to do that one more time. Knee in towards your chest. And press it back. And slowly lower your leg back to the floor. Bend your knees. Bring your hands to your thighs. We're going to go ahead and stand up. Coming back down to the chair. So see if we can back up like we went in. So be conscious of where your feet are in mountain pose, hands on your thighs, using your stomach muscles, hinging forward, coming all the way down to the chair. And into goddess pose. So we straddle the chair a little bit, knees come out to the side, whatever feels good and comfortable for you. Press into your feet, strong, long spine. Go ahead and bring your right hand to your knee and then float your opposite hand up. We're going to just take a side bend, opening up through the chest, through the heart. So our heart is opening up towards the ceiling. Breathe into it, feel a nice stretch all the way from the hip bones through the armpit to the arm. Inhale back up. Find your goddess. And now we're going to do this on the other side. So left arm comes to the thigh. Open up through the chest. Nice side opening. Right arm can float up. I'm not floating mine up because I have a rotator cuff issue, but we're opening our heart towards the ceiling, breathing into the whole side body. And with your next inhale, come on up. And then slowly bring your feet back together. And we're going to do our low lunge series that we have done before, and it's just so good. So I'm sitting towards the edge of the chair again. Hands are being used for stability or on my thigh or on your thighs. Root down through your sit bones. Lengthen through your spine, engage your core. We're going to inhale your right knee up towards your chest, keeping a nice tall spine. Exhale, press it out in front of you. And then next breath in towards your chest and then down to the floor. We're going to keep going on this side. Big breath in. Exhale, knee in. Inhale, press your foot away. Exhale, knee back in. And then back down to the floor. We're going to move to the other side. So reposition yourself. Taking a big breath. Exhale, knee up. Inhale, press your foot away. Exhale, knee back to chest. Inhale, lower. Take a breath. Exhale, knee up. Inhale, press your foot away. Exhale, your knee back. Inhale, leg back down. So we've strengthened a bit. Now we're going to get into releasing the hips a little in our chair or figure 4 pose. So we want to go into this gently, or listen to your body. I'm extending my left leg, crossing my right ankle, and I'm gradually going to bring it up my knee. And that might be where I stay. We just want a really nice stretch and opening in the outside of the hips. If we need to go a little deeper, then you bend your knee that's in contact with the floor so that your ankle is under your knee. Sit up nice and tall. This might be where you stay, or if you want to go deeper into it, we're going to hinge forward. Imagine a small orange under your chin, so the spine is nice and tall. It's like telescoping over, and then you can plant your forearms on your shin, your knee, or right above your knee, giving a little more downward force. Getting into the stretch. Nice deep inhale and exhale into your hip area, the back of your leg, glutes. You have to slowly reverse, come out of that. Gently put your leg back on the floor. And we're going to go to the other side. I'm going to start off leg extended, cross my legs, see how things are feeling. Slide the leg up, see how things are feeling. Maybe bending the knee. Lengthening up through the torso. And if I still want to go a little deeper, hinging from the hips forward. Listening to where your body is today. And each side can be slightly different. In life, we generally lead with one side over the other. So we'll find that one side might be a little tighter than the other side. If not, congratulations. And then very slowly walk yourself back up into upright position. If you were leaning over, gently remove your leg back to the floor. We're going to step our feet nice and wide, coming to the edge of the chair. Them towards the edge of the chair. Using the chair for support, I'm in a windshield wiper, so I'm going to drop my knees to the left, and then to the right, to the left, and the right. And this is really lovely for getting, so we're doing adduction, we're doing abduction, getting into the hips, into the lower back. So windshield wipers is lovely to do. And then slowly bring your knees back up, walk your feet in. Let's scoot to the back of our chair as we come into Savasana. So get nice and cozy and comfy. And for Savasana, you could always have a blanket also. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, your mouth. Allow your hands to float onto your thighs. If it feels safe and comfortable, close your eyes. Otherwise, take a hazy gaze down your nose. And become aware of your breath. Begin to shape your breath, elongating your inhale, maybe to a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling and exhaling at your own rate and pace. It's nice and slow. Relax your face. Allow your tongue to fall to the bottom of your mouth. Relax into your hips, your legs, your feet. And then begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You'll be picking your toes off the floor and spreading them out wide. Go ahead and bring your hands up to heart center and rub them briskly together, feeling some nice warmth. And if your eyes have been closed this whole time, I invite you to cup your hands gently over your eyes and slowly blink them open. Allow your hands to come down to your chest, come to an upright seated position. Hands in Anjali Mudra, pressing both sides together, stimulating all those nerve endings. pressing your thumbs into your sternum. Relax your shoulders, your elbows. Inhale, length through your spine. Exhale, gently bow your head. Just take a moment in gratitude for your wonderful, beautiful bodies, for all that they allow you to do, the movement, and also for taking time today to join us, share your practice. With much gratitude, namaste.